Congratulations on your graduation, Rachel. Huh? Oh, hi, Lisa. You knew it was graduation ceremony at my university today? Yep, looks like you're a full-grown adult now. I guess. That reminds me, where did you get a job at? What? Remember how I asked you about how your job hunting was going around a year ago? You told me it's a secret. I won't tell you until graduation, right? I thought you would tell me after you graduated. Oh, yeah, I remember. Do you want to know that much? You're my late father's second wife, and you're not even related to me by blood. Well, yes, but for the past 10 years, ever since you were 12, I treated you like my own daughter. At least I tried to. Well, I guess there's no denying that you supported me up until now. I'm a bit unhappy that we were slightly in poverty, though. That's because I was saving for the future. But it's also largely because I didn't use any of the money from the inheritance or the insurance he left you. What? Is that so? I was planning on giving you the necessary papers to sign once you became an adult. Then give it to me tomorrow. What? Tomorrow? I need to leave the apartment I rented when I entered university by the day after tomorrow. Oh, you're moving. Yep, I'll stop by your place while I'm at it. Do you have the necessary money to move? I'm fine. I'll tell you about my job when I go there tomorrow as well. Alright, got it. Rachel, who are these men? They're putting the stuff you had left in our house into a truck. Yep, I told them to do it. You told them? They didn't seem like the people that work for a moving company, though. They're Mom's colleagues from work? Huh? Mom? It's obvious, but I'm not talking about you, Lisa. Hold on, don't tell me that. Did you go and meet Renee? I did go and meet her. In fact, I'm with her right now. What's the meaning of this? Don't tell me that the whole time you were in university? Yep, thanks to Renee, life at university was so fun, and I forgot all about getting a job and you. Since when have you been meeting her? Ever since the coming-of-age ceremony, I hired a detective to find out where she lives, and I had him bring us together at the coming-of-age ceremony. A detective? We've been meeting regularly ever since. Why didn't you tell me anything? You know why your father and that woman got divorced, right? Didn't your dad tell you over and over to not go anywhere near her because she's dangerous? Lisa, I'm thankful, I guess, for you supporting me up until now, but that's just the obvious thing to do as my only guardian left after Dad died, right? But the only person I want to call mother is my actual mother, Renee. Rachel. I don't need you to provide me with any more money. I already got the papers I need to inherit Father's money. You're of no use to me anymore. Could you at least tell me where you're moving and where you're going to be working? Oh, that's right. I actually never got a job. What? So does that mean you're going to be graduating without a job? There's something I want to tell you. You see, it looks like my mother Renee is going to support me from now on, so I'm cutting ties with you. What? Renee is going to support you? I'm going to live with my real mother, who's now a celebrity. You're cutting ties? You see, my mom Renee married a really rich man and is now living a life as a celebrity. Apparently, his name is Jack Willis. Jack Willis? That's the name of the man that caused your parents' divorce. Apparently, but I'm not bothered by such things, so it's all right. I mean, he's rich after all. He's so rich that he told me I didn't need to get a job and that I could just relax all day. Isn't that great? What are you talking about? You're so nosy. He already bought me brand new bags and clothes and stuff. I saw with my own eyes that my mom was living a life of luxury. Renee doesn't have that much money, you know. Now you're just lying. Liar. Bye. Rachel! Hi, Lisa. It's been 2 months since we last talked. No, I thought you cut ties with me. You pay too much attention to details. You insulted my mom so much, so I thought I would get revenge by boasting about my new celebrity life. Revenge, huh? First off, to celebrate moving in with Mom, she bought me several pretty party dresses. She says we're going to go out next week in these dresses. Not only that, but tonight we're going to have a full-course dinner at a high-class restaurant with a view. Apparently, it costs $500 per person. To think that I would be eating a single meal that costs 2 months of my food expenses during university. I'm such a celebrity. Is that so? But you shouldn't let your guard down, alright? What do you mean? You see, there was something that I had needed to tell you, but now that you're with them, I decided there was no longer any need. You're not making any sense. Well, I'm not your actual mother, and our relationship is a bit dry, but I did raise you for 10 years. So here's my last piece of advice for you. No matter what you do, don't give your father's inheritance to them. Huh? There's no way the kind of celebrity mother that's going to support me from now on is after my money. Don't get mad at me for no reason just because you're jealous that I'm living the life of a celebrity while you're still poor. Goodbye. Lisa? I'm begging you, answer my calls. I seem to recall you telling me that you were cutting ties with me. We have bigger problems right now. The account with Dad's inheritance money is completely dry. What? But I never gave them the account details. Did Renee steal them or something? I told you to change the PIN and the sign when I gave you the account details, right? Oh yeah, I changed both of them the next day, but... Did you check the account balance after that? Yeah, I did. The money Renee said would be in the account was there. If that's the case, then there's no way I would have been able to withdraw the money. You understand that, right? Then why? Did you tell anyone the PIN? Mom told me that she wanted me to change it to her birthday to celebrate me moving in with her. That's it then, I guess. But Mom would never do such a thing. Lisa, what should I do? Apparently Mom used the money to pay off her debt. So that's what happened. I knew it. Huh? You knew? No, but I guessed that that's what she would do with the money. You remember why your parents divorced, right? Yeah. Mom cheated on Dad, and Also, Mom was loose with her money.
Lose is putting it lightly.
What?
This is before me and your dad met, and I don't know what your parents told you when they were getting divorced while you were still in elementary school, but it seems that Renee was the type of person to take out loans without even hesitating. One day, she borrowed a loan from a group that was considered suspicious in society. Apparently, she met the man she would cheat on your dad with through them. Your dad knew that this was going to mean trouble, and so he rushed to hire a lawyer. He had already been gathering evidence of your mother's adultery, and used that to get divorced with her immediately. He didn't ask her to pay any alimony, and in return got custody of you. He changed jobs and moved far away, bringing you with him. Your grandparents, who passed away 8 years ago and 5 years ago respectively, were also forced to move.
So that's why I suddenly changed schools and moved?
Yep, he said he cut ties with everyone except his parents from his hometown, as if overnight.
What?
I was planning on telling you this when you graduated from university, but you know what happened next. To be honest, Renee reaching out to you before that was a miscalculation on my part. I understand painfully now that I underestimated her, even though I only heard about her from your dad.
Lisa, help me.
What?
I think they're going to make me take on customers from tomorrow.
Customers?
I overheard Renee and Jack talking to each other at night. It seems the party dress she bought for me last week was a uniform for work. Apparently, it's a hostess bar on the outside, but...
I understand.
Help me.
I'm sorry, but I won't be able to directly help you right now.
Why not? But we've known each other for 10 years.
I was suddenly told that I needed to go on a business trip abroad. I'm currently in the United States.
The U.S.?
I'm probably going to live here permanently in the future.
But you're the only person I can rely on, Lisa.
Well, I'll give you one hint then.
A hint?
The fact that you can still text me means that you have a chance to escape. But I think it's going to be a race against time.
What should I do?
I'll tell Judith about the whole situation.
Judith. Oh, your friend, right? The one who grew up on the island of Sakushima?
Yep, that one. You know where she lives, right?
Yep, the big house near the station, right? I always saw it on my way to high school, so I remember.
Her husband is a lawyer, so ask him for advice.
But I need money to get there.
I'll tell Judith to pay for your taxi, so return it to her afterwards, alright?
Got it. Lisa, thank you. I'm so glad you didn't get mad and cast me aside after what I said to you.
But Rachel, I haven't forgotten what you said to me. I just know that this is my last act of kindness towards you.
Lisa...
I'm not going to help you anymore. Try and live on your own from now on.
Okay, I'm sorry for what I said to you. Thank you for everything up until now.
It seems that Rachel immediately hopped into a taxi after that and went to Judith's house. Her husband, the lawyer, was exceptionally skilled. Not only did he manage to get back all the money Renee stole from Rachel, but he also started an investigation of the illegal store Rachel was almost made to work at. Thanks to his efforts, Renee and her husband Jack are now behind bars. Apparently, they're guilty of countless other crimes as well, such as fraud and tax evasion, so they won't be able to get out of this for a while. Also, Judith occasionally tells me how Rachel's doing, but it seems that she found a job that came with housing all on her own and has moved there. My eyes teared up when she said that Rachel was doing her best and has become a humble person. It seems that Rachel is no longer the person who said all those heartless things to me and deeply regrets what she did. It seems that I can move on with my life, with no bitter feeling of contempt mixed with sadness, but with a feeling of joy and hope, knowing that Rachel went on the right path. Inspired by her change of character and her willingness to move on with life, I will also try to do my best in this newfound heaven of mine.
Hey, what do you think you're doing back there? Pay attention to where you're walking, idiot. You damaged my bike. Someone is gonna have to pay for that, and I say it's gonna be you.
My apologies for bumping into you earlier. But I'm pretty sure you're the one at fault here. You were the one not paying attention to where you were going. Your eyes were completely on your phone, and you were listening to music while you were at that.
Very bold of you to think that you have a say here. Who do you think you are? Who do you think I am? I'm a student of the super-renowned Wyatt University.
And so, I understand that Wyatt University is well known for its outstanding education curriculum, but I don't see how that has anything to do with what just happened.
Fine, let me set things out for you. On one hand, there's you, someone who just by living and breathing in air is a waste of precious clean oxygen. On the other hand, there's me, someone who is almost certain to change society for the better in the future, perhaps by running a successful business or maybe taking part in some future technological advancements. I think it's pretty obvious who has more value in society overall. Am I right? 'Cause it's me.
I don't understand your point. I mean, even if you were right about how you may prove more useful to society, that still doesn't have anything to do with the accident.
Oh wow, you really don't get it, do you? Let's put this plain and simple so even a doofus like you can understand then. If I reported you to the cops, you're gonna get arrested. You hear me? The cops are definitely gonna side with me on this one. After all, I have a good background.
So that's what you were trying to imply. You should have just cut to the chase. Are you job hunting right now? I hope you don't talk like that during your interviews. Let me give you a piece of advice. You should learn to set up your argument more clearly. Starting with your conclusion first could help you a lot. Using examples are okay, but if you don't make it clear about what the example is supposed to prove, it could become confusing, even a waste of time.
Hey, don't try blame me for your stupidity. Anyone could have caught up on what I was trying to say if they weren't so slow. This is why I hate speaking to idiots. It's so darn inefficient. You guys just don't have the brain capacity to hold a proper conversation.
I was wondering why you forced me to hand over my contact information. Is it so that you could bother me like this and demand money? If my assumption is correct, and if you value efficiency, then I advise we both forget this conversation ever took place. It'll be better for the both of us.
I'm still a student, you know? That means I still work part-time. I don't have that much cash on me. Well, I guess that the same can be said for you. You don't seem that bright. You have the face of some dumb old granny. I bet you work part-time at some fast food restaurant or something. Minimum wage, too.
I see. You find amusement in making assumptions about other people and belittling them based on that pure assumption? Honestly, I understand that not all young people are like you. But seeing that someone like you is going to be the future of our country makes me anxious.
Yo, don't worry, I'm much better than a talking garbage bin like you. For one thing, I already have my future planned out. It's decided that I'm going to start working at a reputable company once I graduate university.
Calling someone you've just met a talking garbage can is definitely not a good sign. But I worry that the company courageous enough to hire someone like you is also a problem. I wonder, what did they even see in you? Are you a completely different person during job interviews?
Nah, I didn't go through any job interviews. Maybe you don't see it, but my awesome background in education isn't the only thing great about me. I also have ties with the CEO of a pretty cool company, which means it's only natural that I'll be hired to work for them once I graduate. Basically, I can skip all the boring job hunting stuff. Life is just so easy.
You think they'll hire you just because you have ties with them? If it's still undecided, I would start getting ready to look for a job. I suppose they could hire you, but it's better to be safe than sorry. I've seen a lot of people regret not preparing themselves enough, no matter how confident they were.
Hold up, is that what you went through? Did you not prepare yourself enough back when you were a student? Man, do I feel sorry for you. It must suck not being as good as you thought you were. But for real, I've never heard of anything like that before you mentioned it. It's probably something that happens to people who are really screwed up, like you, probably.
No, I didn't go through this experience myself, but I have seen people who have multiple times.
No need to act tough. I bet you were super arrogant, like you were blind as to how incapable you were. And your bubble finally burst when you couldn't get a single job during your job hunts. Am I right? Man, you must have been really miserable. Seriously though, I'm not the same as you. I'm actually smart, charming, man, a freaking genius. I'll be fine without any of your advice. Thanks.
If you think so.
Anyways, back to the accident we were talking about. About $7,000 should be enough for the damage you caused today. I think I also hurt my leg when you bumped into me, so pay up, will you? Because if you don't, I'm gonna find out where you live and I'm gonna collect the money myself.
I'm pretty sure if you actually did that, it would count as a criminal offense. If you're willing to go as far as to actually show up on my doorstep and demand any sort of payment, I'm afraid I'm gonna have to call the police.
Oh man, you don't even have $7,000 in your bank account? First, you harm a poor kid with a bright future like me, and now you're saying you don't have enough money to make up for what you did? You should be embarrassed of yourself, old woman. Come on, I know you're not a millionaire, but how poor can you be? Are you a homeless or something? Do you even have a job?
I think you're starting to go a bit too far. I don't have time to be bothered by someone like you. If you're going to graduate soon, you should probably start looking for a job so that you don't run into trouble even when your expectations aren't met. First thing to start off with would be working on your manners. You should learn to not harass someone you've just met.
Were you not listening, old hag? I told you I don't have to look for a job. It's decided already. I'm different to you. I don't have to go through all that tedious job hunting business. Or did you just forget? That's what happens when you get old, right? That, or you just don't have enough brain cells to actually remember anything.
You can say what you want. I hope you have a good day.
You're in that time of year again when companies start hiring new employees, right? Are you busy? Do you still do that thing where you pretend to be just another plain job interviewer?
Hi, Millie. Of course I still do it. It's actually pretty amusing. And yes, we are busy just like every other year. But it's all part of the job, and so far, everything seems to be going quite well. How about you? Anything new? Have any of your students caused trouble this year?
Nope, I don't think there's been any huge problems this year. At least not yet. Oh, that didn't come out right. It sounds as if my students causing problems is a normal thing.
Wait, it's not a normal thing?
Oh, Lucy, what's that supposed to mean?
I'm sorry. But it kind of is, isn't it? A part of me enjoys hearing about all the stories you have to tell me after you finish dealing with them. I know it's no laughing matter for you, but from an outsider's perspective, it's amusing. Of course, in an ideal world, everything would go smoothly with no problems whatsoever. But what actually happens is that every single year you have at least one student doing something out of the ordinary. It's always a surprise. But I suppose that must be what it is to be young. They're full of energy and sometimes a bit naive.
I can't argue with that. That must be what makes them so outspoken and full of hope.
I still remember about your students last year. One of them couldn't believe that they didn't get the job. They went straight to the company's office building to have a talk with the interviewer, just so they could hear the reasons behind why they weren't hired. What happened to that student anyways?
Believe me, it was not good. They busted into the building during office hours. The company was not happy, to say the least. They said that it was unbelievable behavior, which is true. But because of that, the company thinks that all the other students in our school might be no better. They're not so keen on hiring any of our students anymore. I see their point, but it's just not fair to the other students. I just hope that by telling this story to my future students, we can prevent a similar incident from happening at any other company.
I see. That must have been tough. Hopefully this year's students are all well behaved. Hey, that reminds me. I've just had a little incident with one of your students.
What? Oh no, I really don't want to hear it, but what happened?
They were riding a bike and they crashed into me on the street. I think they weren't looking at where they were going. That alone would have been forgivable, but they forced me to give them my contact info and pay up for the damage I supposedly caused to the bicycle.
Oh no. And I'm guessing they didn't even bother to apologize? Alright, Lucy, give me their name.
It's all right, Millie. Luckily, I wasn't hurt in the accident, and it's not like the kid did anything beyond slightly annoying me. For now, I think I'll give them a chance and keep their identity a secret. But if they start bothering me again, I'll make sure to report their little misbehaviors to you.
Are you sure? If you say so. Your company hires a lot of our students every year. We really appreciate it, you know? We definitely wouldn't want to cause you any trouble. It'd be like repaying your kindness with malice. If something happens, you have to tell me, alright?
Don't worry. In fact, we should be the ones appreciating you for educating your students so well. It's not like we're hiring your students just because you teach them. They're all very intelligent and it makes us want to hire them. So thank you for allowing us to take in so much of your great students.
Oh, you're being too generous, but I'm glad you think that. Being the principal, there's always so many things to worry about when it comes to my students. But it always brings a smile to my face when people talk kindly of them. They may be troublesome at times, but at the end of the day, they're all very great kids. Do you think I'm being too proud when it comes to my students?
I don't know, but if I were you, I would be proud too.
Thank goodness. Oh, look at the time. I suppose I shouldn't bother you too much. Let's go get some coffee once everything settles down.
Of course, I'll be looking forward to it.
Well, well, well. Who would have thought that we'd meet again, huh? I guess I stand corrected. You do have a full-time job. Not that you're anything great either way, but that must be something impressive from your perspective. Oh, and you have to forgive me for splashing my coffee onto you. It still pains me to think about what you did to me a few days ago. Think of it as justice served.
I was surprised to see you at the interview as well. Did you not notice how shocked the other interviewers were when you covered me in coffee? I applaud you for taking a step and actually starting to apply for a job, but I'm afraid with an attitude like that, you wouldn't be able to get one.
Nah, don't worry about it. I don't need to kiss up to you to get a job here. Remember how I said I have ties with the CEO? This is the place I was talking about. Which leads me to wonder, did we really need to do that interview? I mean, come on. We already know I'm gonna get hired. Why bother?
Of course we need to. It's necessary in order to decide if we're gonna actually hire someone or not. Besides, it's the best way for us to see what kind of person an applicant may be in person. Take yourself as an example. Because we held that interview, we were able to see how you treat others when you don't like them.
And why are you talking to me like that? Like I said countless times before, I have a connection with the CEO. You might want to be careful about how you speak to me, because I could get them to fire you.
That's impossible. I'm the CEO. And I have never heard a thing about you before in my life. Did you mistake this place for somewhere else, or were you lying?
What? Yeah, right, like I'll be fooled by that. I saw you at the interview. A CEO wouldn't be there. You're just another expendable employee like the rest of the bunch. Don't try to lie to me.
I was at the interview because I was pretending to be like any other employee. I'm glad you were fooled. It gives me hope that the other applicants also haven't noticed who I really was.
No? Like, you can't be the CEO. I mean, why would the CEO be pretending to be a normal employee?
Isn't it obvious? If the applicants knew that the CEO was in front of them, it would make them nervous. It might be a little too much pressure for them, especially since job interviews on their own are already stressful enough. Besides, it's nice to see the applicants myself. I don't want to take my employees' jobs, but I do enjoy choosing who to hire next.
What the hell? What kind of a reason is that? No, I'm not buying it. There's absolutely no way that you're the CEO.
You don't have to believe me. Either way, we're not hiring you. I think it's a fairly obvious decision, seeing how you've been acting these past few days. If you want to get a job, I suppose you better start bettering yourself and start working for it.
Hold on, you can't be serious. I'm a student at Wyatt University. You have to hire me.
I know you're a student at Wyatt, but I don't see why that means that I have to hire someone like you. You show no potential. Your personality is a wreck. You don't even have a connection with me, though. I wouldn't hire you even if you did.
The principal is close friends with the CEO, right? Isn't that why so many students from Wyatt University get hired? It's a rumor at our school. If we apply for a job here, it's almost decided that we'll get hired.
Oh, is that what the students think? Is it true that your principal and I are close friends? I would even say that we're best friends. But that doesn't mean I'll just hire every student from our school. I've treated every student equally. Every applicant has the same chance of getting hired as the rest of them.
That's impossible. Then why are there so many people from our place in your company? Are you trying to say that it's just a coincidence?
I'm not trying to say it is. It's the truth. Students from Wyatt University just happen to fit the type of people we're looking for. They're not just smart, but passionate and willing to take risks. They're all very appealing. And it's not just a facade. Everyone who we hire is doing great at their job. I'm very proud to be able to hire people like them.
Well, duh. Wyatt University is one of the best universities in the state. So shouldn't you be hiring me too? I'm also a student there.
Definitely not. There is definitely no way we'd hire someone like you. You crash into me on the streets with a bike, but instead of apologizing, you try to charge me for getting your bike scarred. Then you cover me in coffee during your job interview. For every interview, we would give out drinks to help ease the stress the applicants must be feeling. But I suppose what you needed was a source of stress so that you wouldn't act so arrogantly. Frankly speaking, we don't want someone like you working at our company.
Why? It just doesn't make any sense. We're supposed to get hired no matter what, as long as it's your company. It's not just a rumor, the data backs it up. You can't just do this to me. I have a future. You don't want to mess up a future of a young student, do you?
I could care less. That's your problem and not mine. What you believe to be the truth is nothing more than a mere rumor. I hope your existence proves that to the other students who may foolishly believe in it as well. Besides, getting hired at this company should be the least of your worries. I went easy on you last time, but I won't make the same mistake again. I'm going to report you to the police.
Wait a second, you can't report me. What if I get a criminal record? It was just a little coffee, lady. If you don't hire me, I need to start job hunting. They aren't going to hire me if they knew that I got charged with a criminal offense.
Why should I care? In fact, that may be better for the society in general. If people didn't know what you were actually like, it may lead to more people getting harmed by you. If anything, now's the chance to finally stop you from getting out of control.
No, come on, that's going way too far. Hear me out. I'm already in hot water since I'm not getting hired by your company. I haven't applied for any other place. It's not that I was lazy, I was just being efficient. I thought there was no need to go through all that trouble if I was gonna get a job here anyways. See? I'm a smart kid.
You only have yourself to blame. You need to start noticing your flaws, or else I'm afraid no one will hire you even without a criminal record.
Well, what am I supposed to do? Come on, you have to hire me. I swear, I won't do anything to you anymore. I'll try to be better, please.
Unlike you, I have an actual close tie with your university's principal. All of your actions will be reported to her. Worst case scenario, you may be expelled, but I'm afraid you wouldn't have gone through all this if you were slightly more charitable. I hope this serves as a lesson for you. Although Lucy didn't mention it, the hot coffee that she was covered in burned her quite severely. She was safely treated so it won't leave a permanent mark, but the police were contacted nonetheless. While Connor had to deal with the police and medical costs, and Lucy warned her business partners about his misdeeds. With that and his criminal record, Connor was never able to find a place that was willing to hire him. At the same time, Millie heard everything from Lucy, and as expected, expelled Connor from the university. So now Connor had no college degree, no job, and had to deal with his criminal record.